Hello again, dear viewer. Once again, we are observing the West. This particular episode is dedicated to the tragic events that occurred in the United States of America, in the county of Butler, Pennsylvania. I am referring, of course, to the assassination attempt of the former President Donald J. Trump. Honestly, I was debating with myself about making this video earlier, but given all the noise and nonsense theories regarding the event that were flying around, I instead decided to wait a while and observe the developments of the aftermath. First of all, though, I believe it should be noted that this particular event is unfortunately just the latest in the long history of political assassination attempts in the United States, some of which were quite successful. Here are some worthy mentions. Number 1. Abraham Lincoln, of course, assassinated on April 14th, 1865. James Garfield, shot on July 2nd, 1881. William McKinley, shot on September 6, 1901. Theodore Roosevelt, shot on October 14th, 1912. John F. Kennedy, naturally, November 22nd, 1963, successful assassination attempt. Robert F. Kennedy, June 5th, 1968, another successful assassination attempt. Few people know of it, but actually Richard Nixon was the target of an assassination attempt by a certain Samuel Bick. On the 22nd of February, 1974, the man actually attempted to hijack a commercial plane in order to crash it into the White House. They made a musical about it.
Hello, Mr. Bernstein. Lenny. How you doing? Well, my name is Sam Bick. We've never met. Well, you're a world-renowned composer and conductor who travels the world over, enjoying one success after another. And I am an out-of-work tire salesman, so I guess that's not surprising.
And of course, last but certainly not least, we have to mention the assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan on the 30th of March in 1981. As we can see, assassination attempts on top government officials are not at all that uncommon in the USA. And so, the fact that there was one on Donald Trump shouldn't really be all that surprising. As a lot of people suddenly decided to point out, given the rhetoric coming out from the major news pundits in the last 8 years or more, the political climate was ripe for just someone to grab a rifle. The major question on everyone's agenda at the moment is, how on earth was this allowed to happen? The available answers can be divided into two major categories. Number 1, security failure due to absolute incompetence. Number 2, it was all a setup. Both theories adequately explain why the Secret Service hadn't done any advanced work on all the buildings that were out there. Both explain why they didn't have a single point of communication, which all the security services present at the event could have used to adequately exchange information. Why President Trump's usual security detail was replaced by a less experienced one on the day of the event, etc., etc. Both approaches at trying to explain the shooter's near success in this particular assassination are very convincing in this regard. In my personal, unprofessional opinion, though, if this was indeed a setup to have the former President Trump killed, then it wasn't a very good setup. It is undoubtable that the shooter got pretty close, but in the end, he failed. I mean, what were the people who were supposedly setting this up hoping for? That some random kid with a gun would climb in there and get off a lucky shot somehow? I have no experience whatsoever setting up assassination attempts, but if I was doing it, I would have had 2 gunmen at the very least. And one would have been there just to be a patsy, and would have undoubtedly been a young, impressionable kid who would have been very easy to influence, and the other would have been a professional sniper who would have surely gotten the job done. He would have had a 100% secured exit strategy and everything. I guess all I'm trying to say here is, if it was indeed a setup, it just wasn't a very good one. Considering that the results are 1 good family man dead, 2 more innocent people injured, and Donald Trump is now stronger than ever. Anything can happen, of course, between now and November, but as far as I can see, his chances of being president once again are considerably higher now. The Republicans are rallying around him, his favorability is growing with the American public, and he even picked J.D. Vance as his VP, which is a very interesting choice in terms of politics and warrants a separate video for itself.